And we are live again. How we doing, guys? Energy, Mike Tyson. Yeah. Alex, how we doing?
Oh, well, good. Did anybody actually watch the Mike Tyson fight?
I watched the replay of it. It was good. Mike Tyson's quality still.
See, Louis, there's
so
hope.
good.
There's hope for you still, mate.
I started training the next day, didn't I? So.
Oh, God.
So, Lee, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm very well. Liverpool won tonight and are through to the Champions League, so I'm always very happy whenever that happens. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm okay. I survived COVID, as you guys knew from the last episode, but we are still alive and still around, here to give you guys great content, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
If you're still watching.
They're all still watching for sure.
Brilliant.
Guys, obviously, as Josh has alluded, thanks to everyone still watching. Please continue to follow. Please subscribe. We are Sick of the Pundits. You can find us on all the usual social media, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, apparently, Instagram. We are there. Do find
We
us.
are active.
Do give us a follow and do give us a like. Tonight, Liverpool have beaten Ajax and are through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. We'll have a little review of their season so far in the Champions League and tonight's game over Ajax. VAR has been in the news for the wrong reasons, sadly, again, from the last round of Premiership games. We will be discussing and offering our views on VAR, and then we will finish up with this coming weekend's round of Premiership games, who to look out for, and any fantasy football picks, really. So, yeah, guys, it will be lots to get through this evening. Alex, let's start with you. Obviously, Liverpool winning tonight. What was your impression of the game? Anything stand out for you?
Shout out Nico Williams. He's had a lot of people, us even, on his back over the past couple of days, but he had a really good game tonight. Kelleher started strong in goal. Looked very comfortable on the ball, made some really good saves, made obviously that last big save at the end. I know it was right at him, but still, a save has to be done. So a big shout out to those two. It was a good team performance, I guess, in a sense that we grinded the result out and whatnot. Could have been better, but obviously, naturally, as the season is an exceptional one, as everyone's saying, you can't expect to be brilliant every game. So getting the win through to the Champions League, able to rest players more. So it's all in all, great day at the office for Liverpool.
Definitely, always good to qualify to the knockout stages with a game in hand. Josh, what were the main standing points and highlights for you?
I feel, again, the kids that came in, Jones and Nico, I'm one of Nico's biggest haters, but I'm only one of his biggest haters because I want him to succeed. We're in the right back committee right here, and I want him to do well. And the thing that annoys me about Nico is he doesn't do the simple things. I think he tries to overthink things and holds on to the ball for too long. But today, it looked like he was just doing the simple things right. And that's all he needs to do. The next stage for Nico is just a level of consistency, because we have seen Nico perform well. He performed well last season. But then this season, he's been up and down, making silly mistakes. So it's just the level of consistency he's going to have to bring in. Obviously, it's difficult because Trent is obviously the number one right back. Some say the best right back in the world. So it's like, how do you keep up a level of performance? But he needs to keep pushing him, and then come to a level where he can finally push Trent into the midfield maybe. But that's not going to happen unless he brings a level of consistency, and it's hard for young players to do that. Again, Jones is one of my favourite football players right now. Been following Jones for at least the last 3 years, and every level he seems to have come up. And I don't think he realised how much he was going to play this season. And he has had some off games where he's not been super great. But again, for Jones, I don't want him to do the simple things, because I think Jones, at times, he has something clever about him. He has something about him that's pretty special. When he does the simple things too much, he loses that. So I want him to keep trying and do something special. Like that's my advice, my 2 cents for Jones. But everybody else, I think Gini's been probably one of our most consistent players. And I think Liverpool have been fantastic despite the injuries. And I think this is what we're seeing about really top managers, and why Klopp's probably the best manager in the world, because everyone has bought into the system. look how Jota's thrived. Didn't score today, but he'll probably score on the weekend. So this is what systematic managers do. They get people into the system and help them grow and pick the right players. I don't see that from Pep Guardiola, but I'm a Pep hater, so it is.
Ooh.
Little snide comment there
Always.
from Josh on
Always.
Pep Guardiola.
Hate Man City fans.
It's not the first time. Alex, as Josh has mentioned, obviously injuries have played a massive part in Liverpool's season so far. Who's to say, you know, touch wood, hopefully we don't, but we might pick up some more. Hopefully we'll get a few more coming back. What's been your impression of the squad and the way we've handled the injuries so far this season?
I mean, there's been so many injuries. Well, we've got the most injuries in the league, right?
Us and Man
Yeah,
City,
we don't check facts.
Us
But, and Man City as well, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man. I mean, could we have coped with it any better? We had the hardest fixture list. We played the most games. We played at the most awkward times, and yet we joined top.
Mm.
Just on goal difference. If we didn't get battered by Villa that time, we'd probably be top. But to be honest, it is just touching on what Josh says in terms of how Klopp has built a mentality and a system. The bit part players that are filling in here and there, because they've all bought into the system, you're not kind of seeing, let's say, they're not as bad as what some people may think. Like a lot of people were getting onto Nico, and I know Josh loves to get onto Nico, but he is a young lad. He's going to make mistakes. The only way he's going to get better is if he plays his minutes. You know, it's expected that he's going to make mistakes, just that you don't focus on them. And if they don't cost you too much, then obviously that's a bonus. And look at him today. I know you mentioned obviously he's doing the simple things, right? But he's cut in from the flank and then crossed the ball to the back stick with his weak foot. It's hardly the most simplest thing to do.
Yeah.
And he's got an assist out of it. So it is kind of just making sure that these players play their game and make the right decisions. And with decision making, it does get better when you get older.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things when it comes to Nico. I'd say Curtis Jones, the fact that the injuries have that the squad has had has obviously really helped. Really, really, really helped his development. You know, he's not getting into a team if Thiago's fit, if Hendo's been fit all season. You know, if Milner was fit, arguably, isn't it? He's played 3 games in 6 days. So Curtis Jones has capitalized and he has taken his chance. And you know, you're right. He does have that certain va-va-boom, that je ne sais quoi, that he's got the sparkle in his eye and he can do things. It's a shame that he hit the post.
Yeah,
Today.
exactly.
I thought that was sailing right into the top corner. It was such a shame, such a great shot. But I do like the way Jones plays. He's slotted in. He is most parts 6.5, 7 out of 10 like across the board. So it is really good the way our squad has coped with through the injuries this season.
Has he, would you say Curtis has bulked up a little from the back end of last season to the start of this season?
Yeah, it's like he's been training with Trent, because Trent was a little twig as well a couple of years ago, and then he's gone and bulked up in the gym. So that definitely, I mean, that you have to do that when you play in the Prem. If you look at Minamino, he hasn't exactly acclimatized the way that everybody has expected. Maybe he needs to hit gym more, you know. But I do think Minamino needs to be given more time. There's a lot of criticism about him at the moment, and it's completely uncalled for, in my opinion. You know, look at Josh sour face over there, man. Yeah, he doesn't hold the ball up as well as Bobby Firmino, so or Mane or Salah. It's not that.
Anyone in the
man.
Premier League.
But you got to give these players time to acclimatise, and the injuries has obviously given these players more minutes. So with more minutes, more mistakes are bound to happen, but it's how we cope with it. And as long as we're winning, then it's all good for me.
And a big shout out to Kelleher as well, who's come in and was
Yes,
so solid today. Even distribution was pretty good as well. Like I remember he threw the ball to Bobby, threw the ball to Mane, and I was like, "Raw!" I didn't even know he had that in his locker. So yeah, Kelleher's
he's got a long goal kick as well. Like his goal kick, I remember he kicked it. Who did he kick it to? He kicked it to Salah, was it?
Yeah.
And it was like hitting their penalty box, and it looked effortless when he kicked it as well.
I think one thing that did stand out for me was his footwork. Instantly, when I look at him compared to Adrian, like Adrian looks just a bit unbalanced, whereas Kelleher looks like he's just sort of, I don't know, he's been taught to play football basically from a young age. So I think, like you could tell, like the centre backs looked a bit more comfortable with him at the back.
He's kicking off his weak foot as well. Like he'll control it with his right. Yeah, he'll control it with his right, shift it over to his left, which is his weak foot. You know, and obviously his distribution is still good. So yeah, and props to Kelleher today. Great performance.
Would you play him against Wolves?
Who's fit? Is Alisson fit or is he out?
I heard Alisson, it's a hamstring hold on, is Alisson injury prone? Is it fair to call him injury prone? Because he's missed a lot of games for a goalkeeper as well. Like, he's missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like,
I
since
mean,
we
yeah.
Not
It's-
sure,
it's-
yeah. It's
and that's a
point.
soft tissue injury. You're a goalkeeper. Why do you have soft tissue injuries? I'm sorry, I'm the right back committee. I'm not the goalkeeper.
But they do say though that Alisson is one of our fastest players in, like they've said Alisson's one of our fastest players.
Who said that?
The coaches. Ask Jurgen. I called him yesterday and he said it. Yeah.
Fair enough. You saying Alisson?
No, he is. No, I don't know where. Yeah, but he is. So imagine if you are one of the fastest players, then you're using your muscles more in terms of explosiveness. So he's
a goalkeeper, Alex.
Yeah, he's a sweeper keeper. You see them rush off the line.
Yeah.
He's always there. But no, he could be injury prone. Who knows, man? He's missed a lot of games.
But if we're going to look at negatives of the game today, I feel like we were talking in the group chat about this. Mo Salah's decision making at times is so bad. It's so bad, and it's detrimental to our team. Like, he's been
detrimental. Come on, that's harsh to say.
Hold on, our last 3 games or something like that, we've hardly had any shots on goal. Like, we haven't had any shots on goal, and it's just like, wait a second.
What's been our results the last 3 games?
We drew against Brighton. I can't remember.
Lost at Atlanta.
Lost at Atlanta, yeah, and then I don't know. We must have won one of the games.
One today.
No, we battered Leicester. But no, man, you got to look at it like your decision making. I think his decision making is the one thing that's stopping him from being a very top player, and it's frustrating because he's an outstanding goal scorer. Like, his record says it himself. Like, one of the best goal scorers in Liverpool's history, I'd say. But his decision making at times, like when he passed Bobby the ball and Bobby was through on goal, I was like, that's what you need to do all the time. You can't be a superhero all the time, and it's hilarious that he gets mad at Jota. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why is he getting mad for? Are you getting so mad at Jota as well? You know what it is? Maybe Salah is hurt a bit that Jota's taking the limelight as the scorer in the team.
But that's football,
but it still hurts players, especially ones with ego.
Bit of ego creeping in then.
Yeah, the ego creeps in. Bobby Firmino got no ego, so he's happy to be selfless.
Yeah.
But Salah, on the other hand, he needs to take all the penalties. He needs to feel like he's the man, I don't know if Mane is the same, because Mane didn't want to pass the ball today either. But
yeah, it's a weird one. Jota's actually, I saw a stat that Jota scored more goals from one goal less
inside.
Outside of what's that when you don't take penalties and free kicks? I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. But
open play.
Open play, yeah. He scored 1 less goal than open play than Salah and Mane combined. That's mad.
Yeah, man. It is. People highlight a lot about, let's say, Bobby Firmino, because you know how I love Firmino and whatnot. I mean, Mane is not really firing on all cylinders. And I don't want to bash other players, to be fair, though, because, we are still top of the league and whatnot. But there is definitely room for improvement on some things.
I think our front 3, and I know I might get dissed or angry at you guys for this one or whatever, but I think our front 3 might need a change in the summer. I really do.
Here we go.
I really do. I'm not just saying it. I think especially under a Klopp system, because we saw it happen at Dortmund, I think players just get not fed up with it, but maybe tired with it. Because our front 3 was electric for maybe 2 seasons, I'd say. No, we won the league last season. But our front 3 has been pretty electric. But I look at it now, I'm just thinking, maybe these players don't want to play with each other anymore. Who knows? I don't know.
Or maybe they want like a new challenge.
Yeah, maybe. And you can't really.
How old's our front 3? Louis? Is our front 3 old now? Do you know?
Salah's 28, 27, 28, I think.
29, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that.
So they're all hitting their prime or their time for their last big move.
Big contract, yeah.
Or time for a new challenge. I hear your point, man. You want to make changes when you're on top as well.
Yeah.
So if the market is open for the likes of
your Haaland,
Mbappe,
your Sancho's.
Yeah, and we are finally in the discussion now. Before, we never used to be in the discussion, but we're now always in the discussion for these big players. So you want to capitalize while you're up, I guess. And if the time is right, the time is right. Not saying that it is, by the way. I'm not Josh. I don't want to sell our front 3. Josh does. Josh hates our football club.
I do hate Liverpool.
We'll probably move on to this a bit later on anyway, but Liverpool have Wolves on the weekend. Who's your front three, Josh? Is it
Front three-
Salah, Mane, and Jota?
I really have been the biggest advocate. Anyone who's actually watched our episodes, they know that I'm a big advocate of, especially, I think Jota's undroppable right now. So I'd play Jota, I'd play Salah, I'll play Mane, and I'll probably play, I would love to see Bobby. I would love to see Bobby in the game. And then Genie and Henderson holding. With
minutes.
Yeah, it is. But we don't have any players. We don't have any players.
We
Like, even Milner's gone. Mr. Insurance Man himself, he's out. I play mostly the same thing, but I'd start Firmino and drop Jones, even though Jones has scored. But I think Jones would be a good impact player to bring on.
Definitely.
Maybe.
Alex, obviously, if like injuries and rotation wasn't a discussion, and we were just talking form and efficiency, what formation, what selections are you going for up front?
Fucking hell, Wolves. Or be home or away?
Home.
Doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah, we have barely dropped points at home this season. All our drop points have been away.
Yeah,
I think we'll have 2,000 fans at home as well. So.
Oh yeah,
So
right.
there you go.
Amazon Prime.
What team would I pick? I think I'd have to agree with Josh.
Ha ha!
But I don't want to drop Curtis. I feel like he's in that good vein of form. And Hendo can never play X amount of games in a row anyway. Like, he could end up getting injured in the blink of an eye too.
I'd risk it. Because I only say I'd risk it because, look, you can't play Jones in a holding role with Genie. I don't see it happening. But I can see Henderson and Genie playing well in a holding role. And then I'd pick the same back four as well.
Or you can bring in Phillips at centre-back and push up Fabinho.
Yeah.
Arguably, he hasn't done as much running as, let's say, the midfield as he has been playing centre-back. Then he'll have more legs in the middle. Plus, without Raul Jimenez, they won't have as much of an aerial threat up front. So you might need someone a bit more nimble. But then Matt Phillips is probably not as nimble.
Aerial. Yeah.
Bear in mind, guys, we've got Matishland as well on the 9th of December. So we've already qualified. We don't need. We can rest
all the kids,
everyone. And
under
then
16.
we've got Fulham on the 13th of December. So I suppose rotation isn't so much of an issue this time around. I wanted to quickly move on though. I'm sure you all either heard or saw Jurgen Klopp's mini rant on the weekend. How's he been performing? For you, Alex? Is the pressure getting to him?
He got done, man. The debate was dangled out in front of him, and he bit. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. They knew that they could probably get to him because obviously it was a bad result. Well, not a bad result, but the way it all happens was bad, and he was on edge. And he bit. He bit for once, you know. He's right in a sense, in my opinion, that, you know, there's so many fixtures in one go, and the fact that they barely had a pre-season. People say that footballers had a 3-month holiday, so to speak, but they weren't. They didn't have a holiday. Everyone was stuck at home. They had their own training programs, and they had to stay fit. A holiday is when you don't do anything, so they didn't have a holiday. They had a 5-week holiday, and then they went straight back into the season. So in the condensed season and the exceptional circumstances that is this season, he's 100% right. But he just bit, man, and he didn't do it in the right way.
Yeah, obviously understandable with all the injuries piling up, the fixture list piling up. Josh, any sympathy for Jurgen, or has he kind of shot himself in the foot there a little?
I mean, it's hard to sympathise with anyone that they're probably, even their young players are on like at least 20 grand a week. But in saying all of that, these are professional football players, and there is a care that needs to be done, because at the end of the day, it's just people making more money off them, and they're not taking into the fact that it's ridiculous that we played on Wednesday and then played again Saturday, the first game. Like, I know.
No, that's always happened though.
But Ole Gunnar, not really.
It has.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer complained about it and nobody said anything. So
no, but this is an issue that's been happening for years. Like, everyone moans about the December fixture list, especially the top clubs.
But I think Liverpool in like 13 days had like 6 games or something stupid like that. Maybe I'm talking nonsense, but it feels like that. But yeah, I think this. Everyone needs to understand. I think Jurgen Klopp's made perfect points, because at the end of the day, people need to understand it's not a normal. This isn't normal. Like in my other job, I've been telling people it's not normal what's happening right now. Like people need to understand that it should be, we should take care towards the players, because at the end of the day, if the players are injured and Liverpool are missing all their key players for a big game, then you won't get the same viewership. I mean,
Yeah, there's also not a lot of sympathy as well, in the sense that, oh, player's injured, who's going to replace him? Nobody's like, is that player okay?
yeah,
You know, I've been through injuries myself as well, and it's not nice to be sitting out. Like when you want to play football, and then there's the psychological side of things, and obviously naturally the manager will want to protect his players. But I think the issue on the Wednesday evening game and then the Saturday morning game, that's been happening for ages. But the reason it's more, I don't know, I guess amplified now is because of the fact that shorter preseason and even more so condensed fixtures, I guess.
yeah. I think I just think it's one of those ones where people just need to understand that. Yeah, exactly. You need to protect your product, and as mad as that sounds, the players are important, and especially our team, we've got like 16, 17 injuries. That's not normal.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's not normal.
It's actually crazy.
That's not normal. And the players on our injured list will definitely finish top 4 in this Premier League. So it's mental, but it is what it is. Like I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, whoever wins the Premier League, it's a fluke because of the corona. Nah, you deserve it. You deserve it, especially this hard season. Whoever wins.
If anything, you deserve it more.
Yeah.
With the way it goes on. I mean, everyone else is going to get, I reckon, come end of December, they're going to be hit with, like the rest of the clubs, the Premier League clubs. They're going to get injuries. Like it's nailed on. Everyone else is going to be affected by this as well. So that's when maybe people will support what Jurgen and Solskjaer are actually saying.
And I think it's also funny that the Sheffield United manager's having pops at Jurgen, and it's like calling him up.
Yeah.
And then Jurgen's just like, well, he's still got 1 point, hasn't he? He's got 1 point.
But I love it though. It's great.
Guys, as it stands today, obviously Liverpool going through in the Champions League, how far are we getting in the Champions League, Alex?
Well, we're going to win it, man. Everyone else is just shit, man. Look at Real Madrid, they're shit. Barca are not what they used to be. Any of the Italian clubs, ain't nobody scared of them. Who's our competition? Injuries.
Injuries, yeah.
It's injuries. That's our fucking competition.
And VAR.
And VAR. Basically, everything outside of football is against Liverpool because we're clearly better than everyone else.
Josh, any alternative view on that?
You know what?
Realistic or not?
I'm being realistic within the Champions League. Like, because the last time before like a couple of seasons ago, the last time I saw Liverpool in Champions League was 2005. I'm happy with like winning the Champions League, but for me, I've switched the other way now. Bread and butter is the league. As long as we do well in the league, I think Champions League is such a bonus. And if we didn't have the many injuries that we had, I would have been like, yeah, we can definitely win it this year. But 17 players out injured at 1 point.
Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. We got Kelleher.
You know, it's all about the draw as well. If we get a decent draw, then bombs away in it. So
yeah. Talking of draws, yesterday's FA Cup draw was made. We'll just touch upon this really quickly. Aston Villa away. Kind of tricky draw, if you ask me. Alex, happy with that? I'm not really sure.
Yeah. No. I like it. I like it, man. Yeah, man. It's redemption time because you're a pussy. I'm joking. No, if I'm a Liverpool player, yeah, and I see that we draw Villa, in my mind, I'm like, I'm out for blood. I smell blood. No, not even I smell blood because Villa are in good form. But I want to get that 7-2 back and put it behind me. So I'm going all out for the win.
I reckon we lose
Especially if you played. Yeah, if we lose again, fuck it. But I like the draw for me. I like it. I want to play Villa as soon as possible. If I get smacked 7-2, I want to play that team again next week. You know, just to fix it. That's me anyway.
Fair enough. I'll take a 1-0 win.
I'll take a replay.
Josh, are you happy with that draw?
Nah, because who did Man City get? I feel like every time we get drawn to the FA Cup, we get a hard fixture. I don't feel like we've ever had under Klopp.
We never do. Easy. We never do. Man City always get the easy ride in the FA Cup.
Yeah, in everything.
Always.
In everything. But
always.
It's fair. Do you know what? Whatever. Like I said, again, it's gonna come back to this. Like, if we didn't have this many injuries, I'd be like, yeah, we should do better in the cup because that's something Jurgen's never really got a handle of. But
Yeah.
boy, like, I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care for the FA Cup, especially.
When are we playing Villa? Couple
Um,
weeks.
we are playing Aston Villa on. It's in January actually. So
Ages away.
Yeah, it's a
There
while
you
away
go.
actually.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
players back.
Okay.
Thiago.
Yeah, I can't wait for that guy to come back, man. Oh, I feel so lost without him.
You've seen him play twice.
In a Liverpool top, yes.
And he's been
Yeah,
perfect each and every time.
Exactly. God.
Okay, guys, moving on. A topic that just won't seem to go away at the moment. VAR. It's giving penalties to teams. It's giving offsides for armpits. It's elbows. It's back of the heads. Is the technology broken, or are the rules broken, or is it a combination of both, Josh?
It's the people behind it, because at the end of the day, like VAR has been used in Germany. I've not seen as much outrage. VAR was used tonight in the Champions League. Did you even notice it was on? I didn't. I really didn't. And that's because there's just a slicker way of doing it. It's these referees were shit before VAR, and guess what? They're still shit. And that's a joke thing. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, some of the rules, I think they're just like this. Is he offside? Is he not offside?
Just draw the line.
It doesn't even make sense to me, man. It's either they're incompetent, which I think that's what it is. And every other sport that I watch, rugby, basketball, it just seems better. And I know they say it slows down the game, but I want it to be the right decision.
There are some bad basketball calls, though.
There are some, but
there are some bad calls in basketball.
But still, it's mostly right though. It's not as mad as football is right now. I'd rather them just scrap it. Just scrap it. I'd rather them scrap it. I'll be honest.
Alex, are you in favour of getting rid of VAR, or does it need refinement and just a little jig of the interpretation here and there?
Who was it you, Louis? You brought up in the group chat. You mentioned that there's like unwritten rules in football, and that's kind of out of the window now that VAR is there, because as it's clear as day now with the replays, you kind of have to give certain things. So it takes a lot of the common sense out of the way, especially the way the rules. I don't even know some of the rules. Like apparently, like the shoulder isn't handball.
Basically,
but underneath is handball.
In terms of that argument, I think like Carragher was saying that for penalties, like before there would, he said that at all levels, there was like an unofficial rule amongst players, refs, everyone, that there were clear distinctions between what was a penalty and what wasn't. However, now with bringing in VAR, which is slowing down everything inside the box, any minimum contact is looked upon as if it's a foul. So, like before, when we used to say it's a foul everywhere else on the pitch, but it's not a penalty, it's now being given as a penalty. It was the argument, which is, it's just, I don't know. Is it ruining the enjoyment of the game as well?
I mean, that penalty that was given against us, I've watched that so many times, and I still don't understand how they gave that a penalty. Welbeck was standing up after, and then he just dropped to the floor. Can you imagine the outrage if any of our guys done that, like if Salah done that, or if Mane done that, for example? And not to say that they don't.
Is there an argument in that situation to say that Andy Robertson was a bit reckless in terms of making that attempt to go for the ball with the player's foot dangling around like that?
I think the
ball is reckless. Oh, go on.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say I think the ball was there to be won. I think if the referee just used a little bit of common sense again, he would have gone to look at it and be like, wait, Welbeck, exactly what Alex said. Welbeck drops like 5 seconds later after he gets kicked. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's not natural, and it has to be clear and obvious. How is that clear and obvious? Like, I don't know. VAR just needs to get dropped, man.
I was just going to say, Alex, as a player, you're watching that. You're going down for everything. Every time you're touched within the box, 100%. You're thinking, go down.
Me? Never.
Give VAR a decision. Give the fourth man a decision. Any sort of contact, you're going down, aren't you? Right?
100%. As a player, as any player will tell you, they're going to look to try and take advantage because that's the way it is. I think one of the biggest issues is that the referees no longer use common sense. Not that they did as much previously, but now it's like they just throw it all out the window. They look at a replay that slows it down, and they don't actually watch things at real speed. And if they see any sort of minimal contact, then all of a sudden it's a penalty. It's like not everything that is contact is a penalty. So it's I do think a lot of it is incompetent refereeing, and maybe that's what needs to be looked at.
Yeah.
The VAR offside decisions. I used to be like really for that, even if it's a millimeter off, you're offside, fair enough. But then you look at some of these images, for example, Mane against Everton, and I'm like, how is that offside? Like, how can that be possibly given? There's no more advantage, benefit of the doubt to the attacker. And again, fair enough. But those types of decisions that are going on, it's just hard to accept.
I think
It's hard to accept.
what they need to do with VAR is like, if it's not clear and obvious, then the decision should be whatever decision was made on the pitch at the time should be given. So if the referee thinks it's a goal and it's not like the Mane situation, referee thought it was a goal, then someone in his ear says, no, it's not. Then have a look at it. And if you cannot see that it's clear and obvious, then guess what? It's a goal. Like that seems to make so much sense to me. But these guys just want to be making it so complicated. I think the referees might just be fobbing it off so they can keep their jobs or something. I don't know, man. I just think it's just stupid.
Yeah. Fuck referees. They're all dumb anyway.
Okay, guys, let's move on. This weekend's games, obviously, as mentioned earlier, you've got Liverpool Wolves on the Sunday. Just going through the list now. City at home to Fulham. Chelsea v Leeds is a historical rivalry. Sheffield United at home to Leicester. And then the Monday game is Brighton, Southampton.
Louis, you've missed out on Arsenal versus Tottenham, mate. What's going on?
Oh, my God.
Arsenal that mid-table now.
Yeah, it's so true.
My Arsenal mates were saying that it's a derby. Anything can happen in that Spurs Arsenal. I'm not of that impression. I think Arsenal are really poor at the moment.
That's what Everton fans say every week.
To put it politely, guys, what do you reckon for the North London derby that I've clearly forgotten about?
Go on, Josh, you go first.
Well, I thought Arsenal were going to be so much better than they are this season. The most surprising thing is Arsenal just can't score a goal. And then you're going up against probably one of the greatest defensive managers of all time in Jose Mourinho. It's just not going to happen for Arsenal. I mean, their goal of the month was a goddamn penalty. That is mad. Do you know how funny that is? Nah, Arsenal are a joke. Actual joke. Fabian signed that contract. It was like, I ain't scoring again. Like, Arsenal lack creativity. Yeah, Arteta has made them Arteta. I need to pronounce that guy's name right. Until he proves himself, I'm pronouncing him. He just Arsenal are a joke club, man. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. I don't understand.
Gosh, give us a scoreline for the North London derby.
Spurs are definitely winning that, like 2-0.
2-0 for Josh for Spurs. Alex, how are you seeing the North London teams, and how are you seeing that derby on the weekend?
Right, let me make an argument for Arsenal fans. I don't even think I can make one.
Better defensive.
They're solid against the bigger teams, aren't they? Away from home.
They are, because they can sit back. But the problem with that is that Spurs are also very solid, but they just have better team cohesion, I guess. So all signs point to a Spurs win, in my opinion, at the moment. You've got players in form, Spurs, Kane, Son, got Bell off the bench at the moment. Lo Celso, I love that guy. Lo Celso is great, and Ndombele. They got, Spurs, man. I tell you, at the start of the season, top 4 easily. They're making top 4.
They might win the league.
They might win the league.
Good team. Solid team.
Yeah.
If
I don't think anyone. Yeah, nobody's going to avoid injury. Like, so someone's getting injured, whether it's Son or Kane or one of them's getting injured for a long period.
Just a really quick one as well. Obviously, United coming back from 2-0 down. Fair enough. Fair play to them. Edison Cavani coming off the bench, getting his 2 goals. Josh, were you impressed on? I know we were watching that game and.
Not really. Anything that keeps Ole in the job for a little bit longer, I'm happy with, to be honest. I think he's just not a good manager, and because, like I said, I think Manchester United got good players, but he's just not a good manager. He's average at best.
Fair enough. Alex, Cavani's looking all right. Any
He does.
positives for United?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look at the mentality side of things. You come back from 2-0 down at halftime to win a game, even if they were to get the draw, that would have been a big thing as well. You know, this could arguably be the turning point in their season that they needed. And they're not many points off top 4 anyway. Like how many, does anyone, you got the league table in front of you?
They shouldn't have been a challenger for top 4 though. They should have been making a headrest for the title.
Nah,
They've got.
I don't think so. They
The
didn't
Spurs
make
can
the
do it.
signings to do
Why
that.
can't Man United do it?
Because they've had a team that's been together for a while now
Yeah.
in Spurs. Have United really had that?
Yes.
Who? Pogba's
Talking
been there a
about
while,
Martial,
right? I mean,
Rashford.
like,
United
Yeah,
are
yeah.
5 points off top spot with a game in hand, so it's not actually as bad
I mean,
as people are saying.
they
It's not
they
the
are
worst.
probably obviously Spurs and United, they want to win the league, right? As any top 6 team wants to, but realistically, as a goal, they want to have a minimum of being in the top 4. So if they don't win the league, it's not like they're going to be upset, in my opinion. If I was a Spurs or Man United fan, if I get top 4, great, and I win a cup, then no issues because you're not expecting it. You know, Liverpool and City are expected to win the league, so that's what's expected of them. You know,
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Guys, it's been a good episode. We are running out of time, so I want to say thank you to
What a shame.
everyone. On the night Liverpool qualified for the knockout stage, stay safe to everyone. Any last words? I'll leave it to you guys.
Josh is good with closing statements.
My closing statement is, guys,
Closing time.
be good. It's almost Christmas. I'm dreaming of a interracial Christmas.
Oh, God.
Take care, guys.